Hi everyone, and welcome to another Tribe Forex Power Hour. I'm Marcello, and with me is Nino, a pro FX trader. Today is June 9th, 2014, and we're going to do today what we have done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our strategies, which are based upon the 5 p.m. Eastern Time close of our daily bars. So what we're going to do, guys, is that we're going to do our 5 p.m. market analysis to determine what we call the bias. Then after that, we're going to figure out, there are two ways you can execute that bias, by the way. One, you can take a set and forget it trade, or two, you can day trade in the direction of our bias using our pods for bigger profits. So there's probably a question that you have, and that question is, what is the bias? Well, the bias is the high probability of price either going up, going down, or price moving between 2 points. Okay, so if we believe price is going up, we have a buy bias. If we believe price is going down, we have a sell bias. And if we believe that price can bounce between 2 points in a range, we call that a consolidation bias. All right, so set and forget it trade means that we choose our entry, our stop loss, and our take profit pretty much when we're done our analysis and we determine our bias. Day trading is another way that you can go. We can execute our trades right there live in the market if you have time for that. And the way that works is that you have greater leverage because you're taking smaller trades with much more pinpoint accuracy because you're right there in the market at that particular moment. And of course, if you don't know what a pod is, guys, you can go to take a look at tribeforex.com. We do have a trading course on pods there. Okay, having said that, let's go ahead and take a look at the markets. By the way, how are you, Nino?
Marcello, I'm great. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful. We had great movement in the market, guys, over the last few days. I'm actually up right now probably about, I want to say about 8.5 to 9% so far for the month. Don't quote me on it, but it's very, very close to that. And so, guys, there's been good movement. Even though it's been choppy, it's been back and forth. If you know what to do and you have the proper biases, you can really take advantage of it. In fact, today was a great day for us to take advantage of the bias. I kind of sat out of the market today, but there were just great opportunities for us. All right, so let's talk about where we are, where we've been. So overall, we had a sell bias from the top here. I had been talking about a sell for quite a long time, and the reason I talked about a sell was because when we looked at the monthly chart, you can see that there is a flag formation here. Okay, and this flag formation, we were at the very top of that flag formation, and it was calling for us to have some form of a sell-off. Okay, so this flag formation, this resistance zone at the top was calling for us to have a sell at some point unless we were going to have a breakout. So you can see that there's plenty of downside potentially here on the euro dollar. We could even see price get back down to 122 or 125 potentially if it were to break these areas of support and resistance. But that's not where we are right now. We're all the way up at 136. And so what we're going to be looking for, guys, is I think there's an eventuality potentially of a sell, but I think that in the near time, what we need to be mindful of right now is that there is a consolidation. We've had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 days of consolidation. Now, at some point, we will have a breakout. You can see what price did here on, I think this was non-farm payroll, the day before non-farm payroll, actually, is last Thursday. What happened is price really pushed down and then actually pushed up, pushed down, and then pushed back up again. So it really took out a lot of stops and kept on moving. But you can see here that it closed within the range. And when we saw that it came back in the range on Friday, which would have been non-farm payroll, we had an opportunity for consolidation. So where are we right now? We're actually looking for more consolidation. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. At some point, there's a 10% chance of a breakout at any given time. Now, what that means is that we're more likely than not going to have a breakout, but eventually you will have a breakout of these ranges. So, like I said before, we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bars inside of each other. At some point, the market's going to break out of this range. Okay, so keep that in mind. So right now we're going to be looking for a buy. Basically, we're going to have a consolidation bias. We're at the bottom of that consolidation. We're going to look for a buy and potentially a move back up. Now, we do have to draw new areas of support because we do have a new swing low. And that would be our swing low. That would be our new area of support here. And we'll have to keep our eyes open and see what happens tomorrow. I think price, we're in consolidation, guys, so it's going to be a buy play most likely from where we are. Look for areas of bounce for potential for a continuation of this consolidation bias that we have. All right, the dollar Swiss, same thing, guys. Basically, we've just been watching price really just continue to move within its range. You can see that it tried to break out of this trend line, here, the resistance line here. And what I can see is that we're more likely than not, going to see price get up to 89.77 or up to 0.8990, which is where the trend line is. And then we're going to see price drop most likely. So it could drop from where it is, to be honest with you. There is an old trend line here that really stood beforehand. It's now defunct. It still has some validity, but not a tremendous amount of validity. It's kind of like a ghost tingling, if you will, in a limb that is no longer there. This is no longer quite valid, but it still has some effect, if you will. So we're going to be looking for consolidation. We're going to be looking for sells off of the trend line and off of other areas of support and resistance. Obviously, the 200 EMA is right here. We're going to be looking most likely for sell off the highs of the dollar Swiss if this consolidation is to hold this consolidation pattern. Okay, so we're looking now at the pound dollar. Pound dollar, as you can see, is within its range. We have basically had a consolidation in here. Not basically. This is the definition of consolidation. 1, 2, 3 bars, and you can see what's happening is that the market is we're in an apex, so that means that at some point we're going to see a breakout. I don't know if it's going to be today or if it's going to be tomorrow, but we definitely are in some form of consolidation. We are in the apex. That is a place where the market is most likely to break up or break down. We don't know what direction it's going to break at. What we do know is that the market, if we look at the higher time frames, what we have seen is that there's an area that 60. There we go. That 168.50 area has been an area of support and resistance that is held very strongly for the pound dollar. We expect to see some form of a pennant here, a flag formation. That flag formation is holding. We expect price at some point to continue down here and continue to move in this range, potentially getting down to 155. For the time being, price bounced down and is retesting that 168.50 area. That's what we can see here. Okay, and so that's it. We're going to have a consolidation zone here. Sorry, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but don't we have another swing low? We can draw another swing low from that range, from the upper range here.
We could draw another swing low, and in fact, we can make an adjustment of the current swing low that we have because this one can be adjusted. So if I could adjust it, I could probably put this here or here. And actually, this one's more set, more. And the reason why I've chosen this one here is because it actually lines up with another. You can tell that the market is observing this one, this trend line, as an area of support and resistance because it did bounce off of 167.17. Once again on a previous day. So you're right, we did need to make an adjustment there. Thank you for saying that. An adjustment's been made. So we're going to be looking for price maybe to retest that if the market does get a bit spunky, it can really make a move back up to 68.42 and then come back down to the range maybe to 1.6737. All right, so consolidation bias there. And you can see the very same thing here on the dollar yen. Really consolidation plays across the board, guys. Dollar yen as well. Consolidation play. Aussie dollar, certainly a consolidation play. You can see 1, 2, 3 bars inside of each other. And what's interesting about this is, actually, let's see if it connects from all the way up here. Yep, sure does. All right, so this is interesting because we do have an area of support and resistance. And that's our resistance area at the top, and price literally bounced right off of it. So we can see price bounce off of 93.61 and then potentially head down here on the Aussie dollar. I think there's a smaller area of support and resistance, or support right here. Yeah, and so we can see price potentially come down at least to 0.9266. Euro yen had a nice precipitous decline, also bouncing off of the 50 EMA and dropping just as we saw in the euro dollar. We can see price continue to move in that direction. We do have an area of support and resistance there. We're at the bottom of that though, which is going to be interesting. I'd like to see what price does on the euro yen here. But we're at the bottom of the range, so this is what we're going to look for. 139.06. Most likely a bounce off of 139.10 in that range, and then a move back up to 140 perhaps. We'll see. So we're in consolidation. We're going to have call consolidation bias on that as well. We're also calling consolidation bias on the pound yen. Going to see if there's another area of support and resistance that could be more useful here. Yeah. All right, so we can possibly see a, let's see what we saw on the pound dollar. Yeah. We're going to call consolidation on here. So obviously, if we see price get up to 172.50, we can be looking for a sell potentially there. Consolidation here on the New Zealand dollar. Looks like it wants to sell off, actually. That's what I'm seeing. That looks like it wants to sell off. The Aussie dollar looks like it wants to sell as well. So we could see price come back up, maybe retrace a little bit here, but we have two reversal candles, a big shot up, and so let's be looking for a sell, I'm imagining, here on the New Zealand dollar. Potentially down to about 84.30, 0.8430. And last but not least, the dollar CAD. Which has a new swing high. All right, so the areas to look at here are obviously the 50 EMA at 1.0930. We're at the bottom of this range. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars that have already formed that are within each other in this consolidation. We could see price move back up here in the dollar CAD, 1.0930 up to the 50 EMA. That's going to be a tough call though, because there's a lot of space to the downside as well for this dollar CAD. So I mean, I got to call it consolidation bias because it's right there, but the question is how big is the consolidation? Because all of this is a consolidation as far as that dollar CAD is concerned. So we could see it bounce up to the 50 EMA. If you see that happen, then you could see a sell-off heading downward down to this lower trend line here, which is at 1.080, 1.0825 in that vicinity. All right, guys, that pretty much sums up our biases for the day. I think there's some good calls there. I think there's some good opportunities. I think consolidation plays on the euro dollar, dollar Swiss are solid. I think the Aussie dollar is calling for a sell. New Zealand dollar is also calling for a sell. I think the yen peers could buy. Well, actually, the euro yen can buy. Looks like the pound yen wants to sell. That'll be interesting. And that's what we've got for today. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Tribe Forex Power Hour. Happy trading, guys. Bye-bye. Also, don't forget, we also have our live trade room. We've got our live trade room on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 to 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and then again at 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you've got time, jump in those, trade with Nino, make some pips, and ask as many questions as you want. That's what he's there for, and we're more than glad to help you along in this journey. All the best, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.